Hi, good evening. My name is Chris Doherty, and like most parents, I'm concerned about the shortage of school transportation that may be affecting our school district. We understand there is a national shortage of bus drivers that began after the recession in 2008 and declined again after the COVID pandemic in 2020. Wages have also become stagnant and not in alignment with inflation. We have heard from PSD staff, parents, and students that some bus routes are already picking up extra students, which has led to more stops, disruptions, behavioral issues, or not enough seating available for students. We also have students arriving late to school, which means learning loss and falling out of their routine, which is vital for some of our special needs and sensory students. We understand that communication will go out at 5:30 a.m. the day of if there is a shortage. We implore the school district to provide communication at least the day prior so students, parents, and the community can work together to get our students to and from school. Students in Gig Harbor Incorporated have easier access to their schools via bikes or walking due to geographical proximity to their respective schools. Our students on the KP may live miles away from KPMS and PHS, with the only road to reach their respective school being Highway 302, which would not be safe for students to ride their bikes or walk. We need to be mindful of our students on the KP as there are fewer schools servicing a much wider geographical area. Factor in the economic disparity between families in Gig Harbor Incorporated and those on the KP, and it's easy to see that the students on the KP are at a greater disadvantage. Our community is looking for solutions, short, medium, and long-term. Short-term solution is carpooling. Medium-term solution is higher wages for our current bus drivers and help employee retention. Long-term solution is to search for and apply for federal or state funding and lobbying to change license requirements, such as the Get Our Kids to School Act, which is a federal legislation that would forego the repair-oriented under-the-hood vehicle testing requirement of the CDL, which is unnecessary for school bus drivers. We as a community want to be part of the long-term solution and ask the district to be transparent in their actionable steps that they're taking to ensure school transportation is not affected. Thank you.
Next, we have Dr. Ann Junod.
Hi, folks. I understand that the district is investigating opportunities to lessen the burden of potential school bus disruption on families, and I thank the board in advance for transparency and quick action in the coming weeks and in the coming months to develop both short-term solutions to address immediate needs, as well as mid and long-term solutions to ensure that disruption issues are addressed and mitigated in the future. I also understand that part of the current plan is to rotate route closures across the district. Please consider, though, that route disruptions, even if evenly distributed, will not affect families and communities evenly. Many families in the district will be far more burdened by disruption than others, and in a fairly systematic way, raising issues of equity in family burden and in family expense. For example, families with just one vehicle or with no vehicle at all, families with lower incomes, families with inflexible and shift work schedules, and rural families that live further away from school will be disproportionately affected by potential disruptions. And these families also disproportionately live on the Key Peninsula. Disruptions will be harder for Key Peninsula families overall, and even more so because of the fact that there is no longer public transportation of any kind on the Key compared to the public transportation options that are still available in Gig Harbor. So in the coming weeks and in the coming months, parents need transparency and frequent communication in your planning. They also need a longer planning runway than 5:30 a.m. the morning of to be notified if a route will be closed, especially for more rural families on the Key. That's just an unrealistic timeline to take action and drive those longer distances. And finally, a plan that doesn't disproportionately burden students and families who are already disproportionately burdened. Thank you.